Let me know when you hit record, babe. All right. Ice, go ahead and do me a favor. Introduce yourself to our listeners, our viewers. Introduce yourself real quick for me.
Okay, so I go by Ice. My real name is complicated, so I won't mention it. I moved here in 2012, December 16th. At that point, I was 26 years old. I moved to the United States for anti-terrorism conference because that's my specialty.
What kind of conference?
Anti-terrorism.
Anti-terrorist conference. Okay.
I'm sorry about my language.
No,
don't worry about it.
Fine. What made you be able to come here for the anti-terrorist initiative?
Because I graduated police academy, I have a master's degree in criminal science. So my specialty is illegal trafficking with weapons and Islam fundamentalism affecting the terrorism.
Okay.
Also, when I publish my book or research proposal, it's online and everybody can read it and you can Google it.
I didn't know you had a book.
What's the book called?
Yeah, I told you. It's illegal traffic. It's not a book. It's a research proposal.
Okay.
What's published. So it's like
a dissertation for college.
Not for college, for MA.
Okay.
For MA. Illegal trafficking with weapons.
So you're fighting ISIS.
Kind of like
no. I'm being funny, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
It's about it.
Okay, so Ice, you say you moved to Chicago, right, in 2012. Before that, what were you doing?
Before that, I was home. Home is Macedonia and Bulgaria. I was working a little bit for the government, a little bit for the president, because that's my school, right? But none of that was 100% clear in terms of like on the papers, because back home it's a lot of things.
So you were like a contractor?
Yes, like a contractor, like paid on the side. So that one of the reasons because I moved because I never get like decision that I'm going to work for the government from the government. So I'll be on the payroll without worrying about anything. So I need to always renew my contract. And I'm like, I was tired of that, and I decided to move.
To America?
Yes.
Okay. How did that move? How did that process go? Like, did you come to Chicago first?
Yes. So the thing how it was, I have a lot of friends in Chicago because Chicago is a multi-ethnic city.
There's a big Bulgarian community here.
Bulgarian, Serbian, Macedonia, yes. So I had a lot of friends. I moved here. And when I came here, and after that I went to the conference. It was for like 6-7 days. I had a speech there. I want to talk about the experience back home, how it is, how we deal with the terrorism, all the problems and all the stuff.
Where'd you learn English?
Where?
Yeah.
I mean, we
probably back home.
Lot,
yeah.
Yes. So
other countries you have to study English, like it's a requirement.
You asked me how many languages I talk, right?
Yeah.
So I studied Russian and English all my life. I studied Latin language. I know Latin. So Latin you can talk, you can read and say something, but there is no.
They consider it a dead language.
Yes. Yeah. There is no conversation in Latin language, but you can say stuff and you can read stuff. So we do.
So English, Bulgarian, Russian, and Latin, and Italian.
Italian, yeah. So I speak Macedonian, Serbian. They're similar. Bulgarian, a little bit different. Russian, English, Italian.
Okay. You got 6 languages.
Yes.
Very cool.
Are people ever talking shit about you or in your vicinity and they don't know that you can speak the language that they're talking?
Yeah, I have many times. Many times.
Do you respond or do you just not say anything?
It depends on the situation. Sometimes I ignore them until a certain point, and after a certain point I just approach them and just like scare shit out of them or just like tell them like, yo, what are you doing? It's not cool, shut up. Don't do that. You get beat up because of this.
I don't know, Ice. I've heard you talk.
You get beat up.
Nice you.
Yeah.
So when you came to Chicago, like, what did you do right away? Like, what was your first job? Who do you live with?
I'll tell you about it. That's interesting story, actually. Like, I never planned to stay in the United States. I wanted to see what's going on because I had a nice life at home, but the money what you can make in Europe are way less than the United States. Anywhere in the world, you can make less money than the United States.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So the second week when I was in the United States, in Chicago, we were partying with my friends, and I went to this club where I met you, right? The Mid.
The Mid,
yeah. And I just like asked for a job. It was one situation that I had a problem. I helped them out, and they hired me right away. So the next thing I know is I'm working.
Right.
I'm working, and after I said, you know what? Let me try to find out a job. So what I'm going to do, because for me, I'm training all my life and stuff like that. I'll just try to apply for a couple of jobs for like the training, And I did that. So I applied for like Export Fitness at the time, Lifetime, and one private gym, and those three call me. So the first who called me was export, and the next thing I know, the third week I'm start working in export.
So how long did it take you to find work once you moved here?
My first attempt.
So like
it was
a month?
Less than 2 weeks. I said like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in 2 weeks I had 2 jobs. And
so export and the mid.
Yes, export.
That's awesome.
So then when you hear people saying like, oh, you know, the foreigners are coming in taking all our jobs and shit like that.
I'll give you the answer to that. Then that makes you very, very stupid.
Okay.
Like I didn't speak the language, right?
Right.
Like I barely had the social security.
Right.
And like I didn't know any knowledge about anything. I was walking everywhere with my phone, left to right. This is the place. It's not the place. And I can get the job.
Right.
And if you cannot get the job,
you're lazy.
What's the problem with you?
Exactly.
I'm going to ask you that.
Right.
I agree with that 100%.
Not everyone's lazy, like he said.
No, but I'm saying like it's so true. People come to this country and they figure it out and then Americans just sit back and complain. Like my dad did the same thing. Like
my dad
good for you.
Too.
Yeah.
So that's like my dad came here when he was like 17 and fucking
figured the shit out.
Yeah, he figured it out.
I just put all in. You know, like you know how I work, right?
Yeah.
So I put all in the club. I put all in the gym. And let me tell you something. Working like a personal trainer is not a job where you get clients. You create your own clients. So if you're good, you have clients. If you're not good, you do not have anything.
Right. And then there's referral business too.
Yes, referral business. Everything is about review, how you do it. And in a short amount of time, I become the best trainer in the facility where I work.
Right.
I become a master trainer. That means different rates, more expensive. That's, of course, it's a amount of time. And at that point, I decided to quit that place because it wasn't enough for me. I wanted to have more money. I thought that I could do more because I was above the average trainer. So I moved in a better place. I moved Gold Coast, downtown.
Okay.
I worked there for 2 years. And after that, I realized, you know what? I can use my knowledge, I can use my capability. Instead of giving 50% of the money from the facility, I'm about to create my own business.
So you got your own studio?
And now I'm doing my own stuff. I don't use a studio. Sorry, I don't use a studio. I use a facility where I pay rent.
Okay.
So I can bring you like a client in this facility and pay a percentage,
right?
And I give you my own rate, and also not just that, you're my client, right? So I can give you the treatment what you deserve,
right?
Instead of like you be like lost in the space. So there's no customer service. Me and you, this is the relationship. So I provide for my clients water during the workout, towels, and a shake after workout. So you have been taken care of about the workout time. You have a diet and you have all these things.
As a master trainer, what do you think some of your biggest accomplishments have been with your clients? What's the most you've seen, the most drastic change you've seen in another person?
I mean, you need to understand that everybody has success. For some people, just showing up at the gym is success. Right? Okay?
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
So many people start from zero level where they cannot do anything. It's like learning a language. Start from zero. My biggest success is with a person who was autistic, lost more than 120 pounds.
Okay.
So you said autistic?
Autistic. He started with 364 pounds. I put him down to around 250 pounds.
That's a hell of a
That's awesome.
loss. He looks like another person at that point.
And the thing is about that person is his parents, or his father was one of the richest lawyers in Chicago. So when he came with his son, the thing what pissed me off at that time was, he's like, you fat, you lazy, you'll never lose weight. And his father was nothing different than him. So what's happened is, he was lighter 20 pounds.
Right, which is nothing different. Yeah.
So when his son lost 110, 15, 20 pounds, I sit down again with his father because he was the one who was paying, and I'm like, what about you now?
Right. What'd he say?
He was like, oh, I'm too busy. Exactly.
What do you think, as a trainer, some of your biggest obstacles have been, considering cultural differences? Do you think that there are obstacles?
Yes, a lot.
Like
that's the biggest problem.
Okay.
So when I start talking with somebody, they take me that I'm rude.
But that's because you're direct.
I love that. That's
because
good.
I'm direct. So many times I have heard that I'm rude and that I'm not nice because I say things in terms of like, that's nothing actually what it is. Because the culture is different. I don't say thank you and excuse me. So if I tell that, you guys think that I'm rude, right? No. Right. But when I say thank you and excuse me, that means something. It means a lot.
Right.
It's not just like saying stuff.
Right.
So if I need to take the computer, I'm going to say, give me the computer. So in your head, it's like, this guy is rude because he's just grabbing the computer. Instead of, hey, please, can I have the computer? So we don't have those kind of nice, polite way of talking back home. I did not grow up talking to that. So that was one of the biggest problems. Or when somebody's sitting in front of me and they have, let's say, a goal weight loss, and they, according to the numbers or checks what I see, the person will be overweight or will be first class obese when I'm going to tell them that.
Mm-hmm.
And they consider it like rude. So
people want you to pussyfoot around it.
Yeah. So I had a couple of times like what it's called complaints about it because
really?
I have been too rude. Yeah, like a customer service complaint, like I wasn't nice or stuff like that. Just because saying that.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell this way, people are too spoiled in the United States.
For sure.
I agree.
Too spoiled. So you go to a doctor, right? Everybody goes to a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You do a physical exam. They put you in the scale, right? And put some numbers. They never told you your BMI.
Right.
Never. But they have the BMI right there. They don't tell you because they don't want you to feel offended.
Which
and
is
according to the BMI, you're overweight or obese or you normal or under average. So according to that, they need to tell you according to your physical activities to improve, to do something. And when it's too late, they're going to tell you. And then you have a problem. You need to lose 100 pounds.
And then their solution is to come talk to you.
Yeah, come talk to me. Right. Instead of preventing it a long time ago.
Right. So, how tall are you? What are you, 5'8", 5'9"?
No, I'm 5'11". 5'10", 3/4.
Okay. So, all right, so we're going to call it 5'10" and a half. How much you weigh?
At this point, I weigh 220.
What's your body fat percentage?
My body fat percentage is like 11, 12. My BMI will be like 30-something. So the difference between those two is body mass index. It's according to the numbers when you go to the doctor. Mm-hmm. And you need to work out. But because I work out, my body fat is way lower. See,
what a lot of people that never dealt with fitness don't know is a lot of times they'll tell you your BMI and they won't tell you your body fat percentage.
You don't need to worry about the BMI. BMI is the fake number created for the crowd. Body fat is what you need to worry about. Because from the outside looking in, people hear 5'10", 220 pounds. They're going to think, oh man, this guy's fat as shit. Yep. And then your body fat percentage is 11%. 11%, yeah. Right. So you're a lean dude, like for the people who are listening. I have 2 motorcycle accidents. I'm not sure do you know that.
You have 2 motorcycle accidents?
Yeah, I broke 10 bones and I have a metal rod in my leg and my arm right here. Since last year.
Went up in body fat percentage after that, right?
Yes. Yeah. And I gained weight by purpose. Because I need the muscle, because I lost weight when I get into accident, I get to 178 pounds. Oh, shit.
Do you still ride?
No, I have convertible now.
Nice. Smart.
So what are you going to do? You're going to sell it before you go back home? Shipping. You're shipping it, huh? Yep.
So what's your plan? How long are you going to be here for? Are you leaving soon?
That's a tough question. I won't tell this one. All my thoughts right now are back home, and they make it a little bit harder. Life here is great. My life is beautiful. No complaint. The only problem is it's Trump. Because I can't get my citizenship, right? So everything's stuck. Not just me, everybody else that I know around. So I'm not planning to live in fear that I'm going to be deported or I'm going to be stuck for some reason and all my bank funds to be frozen and deal with that all the time. Right. I'm not planning to do that. So just because of that, I think a couple of steps ahead. I prevent all of that, send all my phones different places, and at this point, I'm thinking to go home. Yeah. So how long I'm going to stay home? No more than doing my tax because I want to finish my tax. I want to finish my tax, but after it, I'm done. It might happen earlier. I'm not sure. I don't like at this point. I'm living with the flow. How I'm going to feel. Yeah. This is the first time in my life living with the flow.
I want to talk a little bit more about you working private security before you came here. Tell me what you can about how that all worked out for you. So you got out of college and you had your master's in...
none of that. Okay. So graduated high school, right? After high school, I went to police academy, studied there for 4 years. And while I was there, so I started working a little bit private security, working nightclubs also. Finished finished college. That's considered like college. And meanwhile, I get to the Special Force, stayed there for a while, and after that I went to Masters. When I went to Masters, I worked for the government a little bit, like I told you. A couple of different contractors, including the president of the country, who is still president. Worked for him a little bit, worked for the government, and after that, came here.
From what you saw in the training that you had over there, right?
Yep.
How do you feel about police culture in America right now?
Police culture in America is very bad.
Why? Why do you think that is? From how you
I
see
have
it?
a police background. My dad is a retired police officer. My uncle's a retired police officer. The other uncle's a retired police officer. So everybody in my family is police. Living in Chicago, I started hating police.
Why?
I'm going to tell. Every experience what I had with the police is a bad experience. Just a couple of them are good. The most of them are bad. Why? Because they're working a lot with numbers.
They're collecting money for the city.
They work a lot with numbers. They don't work like what they need to actually help out. So Chicago, or not just Chicago, the world, it's a corrupted place. If you put everything on the table.
Right.
So you don't need to hit to the lowest type of people to show them that this is the law. Shoot somewhere else in terms of like bigger bait, I call it. So you're gonna get a parking ticket because you left your car here for 5 minutes. You're gonna get a ticket because you did a U-turn when the police officer did 10 times U-turn in front
Seriously.
of you. Right? That's one thing, right? Another thing is you're gonna get a speeding ticket because I had got a speeding ticket, like 2 speeding tickets because I was 6 over the speed limit.
6 miles over the speed limit?
Yes. And I'm driving on the highway and I see the police officer cruising around with 10, 15 over the speed limit. So what am I supposed to do?
Right. Running red lights.
That's for the regular people. Because I know about the crime, I'm going to tell this way. They do not worry about preventing drug trafficking, weapons trafficking, any of that. They just worry about the public, the PR, and the crowd.
Right.
They select the news, what they want to place on the CNN or BBC or whatever, and that's what's happening. People just see what they want to see. What actually is going on is a big bullshit. Because I know how it works. When a police officer stops me, when I see his attitude, I'm a white person, right? But I have a hard accent.
Right.
They're racist towards me.
Yeah, I've seen that before firsthand.
Big time racist. So if you ask me what race I'm considering myself, I'm going to tell you black. I never said white.
In America.
In America.
Yeah. In America, yeah.
Never. Like I have a hard time dealing with people who are in age of 50, 60, 70 and they're white by color here because they don't want to understand me and they don't try to understand me.
Right.
So for them, I'm an alien.
Right. And that creates problems.
Yeah, that's great frustration for me. First of all, America is based on immigrants.
Right.
Everybody who is here is an immigrant if it's not a Native American, right? And I have been, I've been disrespected at some point where I felt less citizen because I don't have a certain piece of paper, right?
Right.
And we talked about the police, and the problem with the police, they're very violent. Like I have seen it in front of me. I work in a nightclub. How they act. They're not capable of doing many things. 80% they're overweight.
Seriously.
They're not capable of doing many things. So what's happening when I have been pulled over and asked to step out of the vehicle right here in front of the shop. Right here in front of the shop. Because I passed him a yellow light and my car was kind of fancy and the police officer stopped me and checked the car, is it stolen? I'm like, basically if you run the plates, you can see that it's on my name.
Right. So
it can be stolen. I'm giving you my ID. So they searched me without any warrant or anything, just to check what I have in me. And I had $2,000 cash. He asked me why I have so much money. I'm like, I don't feel that I need to answer you that.
Right.
But I will answer you that because I know
more problems.
I don't want more problem.
Right.
If you turn around, if you see my car has an accident, I'm going to fix my car like a couple of blocks from here. So I have those money to fix my car and part of the thing to make. And he started asking different questions that were out of the context. So it's very rude and like let's say right now, ask me, do I want to work for the police? I'm going to answer no. And I'm coming from police background.
That was what you came here for, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, because everything what I saw, it just put my moral
It contradicts
down.
what you do.
I don't want to do that because people hate the police instead of liking the police. Police is service for the community and to help the community, prevent from the bad people.
That brings up a good point, the way that you said that. One of the questions that we had for you was working for the government ever contradicting your morals before you came here?
No.
No? So do you feel as though working for the government or police here would contradict your morals?
So working, let's say if I started to work here, what I'm going to skip that part. I'll never work for the police here. Let's imagine that I started work here for the police. It was about to be a hard process. Why? I'm going to explain why. Because people, because of the experience so far, they have created a different culture acting towards the police. Mm-hmm. So they had that hate. That's why so many police officers have been killed. No one's doing nothing to change that. The attitude, how to treat the citizen. You understand my point?
They more so want people to understand how they should act toward police instead of how police should act toward people.
Exactly. So,
that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a big problem. So those high people, if they sit down and talk and see what the problem is and detect the problem on time, mm-hmm. they can solve the problem. Because if I can detect the problem, why they cannot detect the problem?
I don't think that it's their agenda to fix the problem.
Exactly. So the first, they're accusing that the south side of Chicago doing a lot of crime, right? Mm-hmm. Why? Just ask why. Why don't you go in south side and create a factory or create something, a business where people can work? So those people won't do anything in crime direction. In terms of like steal something and get locked up in jail for 4 years, 3 years, 2 years,
or selling weed so you can put food on your table.
Yeah. Or why don't you, if you go into public school, just go into public school and put agenda to create different mindset. Mm-hmm. You asked me in the beginning how long it take me to find a job. I told you 2 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. So if you go in the south side and ask these people how long are without a job, what are they going to tell you?
2 years.
2 years. Yeah. Why? Because they don't have the agenda to look on the right place for the right job. So what they do, they don't know a lot of things. And being without the knowledge, at that point there, create a lot of crimes. The only thing what they know is sell weed, steal from somebody, and fight.
Right.
So you need to change that. If you change that, basically you can change a lot. And also, in the other side, people will understand things differently.
Mm-hmm. I think that any society, to function, it has to have poor people, right?
Yes.
Now, that being said, if the main agenda of the big people who actually make decisions, they're like, all right, well, look, these people are already poor. Fuck them. What are we going to educate them for? We need poor people anyway.
That's right.
Problem with that is now you got crime. And you guys don't have any fucking solutions for the crime. And then they put these rookie cops on the south side in these terrible fucking neighborhoods. These guys that lived in Glenview or some other suburb their whole fucking life. They're 23 and they put them on the south side where one of these guys
scared as fuck.
Really will fucking kill you.
Yeah,
right.
You know, because he's scared.
Right.
He's not capable of doing anything. The only thing what he knows is I have a gun.
Right.
And he reaches after the gun. He doesn't try to solve a solution with conversation.
Right.
Like he doesn't try to solve a solution with any kind of
critical thinking.
Yeah, physical
right.
with you to, okay, so if I get in a fight, what I've been in many fights, I never carry a gun or a knife or any kind of weapon with me. Do you know why? Because I'm not trying to kill you. Mm-hmm. If we're getting in a fight, we're trying to solve something what we couldn't solve with words. Mm-hmm. The same case with the police is the same way. He doesn't need to reach for the gun or for the stun gun or whatever. He needs to try to talk first.
Do you think that boils down then to the training?
Yes.
What are they?
Incapable people work in the police.
You're right.
Do you know what is the criterion to get into the physical criterion to get into police?
Like run a mile or something?
Isn't it a mile in like 8 minutes or some shit?
I train a lot of people who want to become police officers. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you this way: they need to bench press their own weight once,
which is absolute bullshit.
With my own weight, I can do around 60 to 70 reps,
non-stop
in one set. I'm 220.
Right.
I mean, of course, I work out a lot. I work out on my back.
Right.
So for normal people, 10 will be normal.
Right.
That's
10.
for one.
Right.
Run a mile for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, which is when I was 14, I did a mile in like under 6 minutes.
That's a very good score. That under 6 minutes, that's an extremely good score. But 10 minutes is running on the treadmill speed 6. So that's like jogging.
Right.
So that's to get in. And after that, how many of those people repeat those tests and get better? No. It's a questionable, because I trained the police officer and I know how much you're out of shape. Mm-hmm. So when you're out of shape and you need to deal with somebody, you need to arrest somebody, you need to do something, and you don't have authority because how you look like, mm-hmm. what you gonna do? Grab the weapon, right. Shoot him.
Yep.
Yeah. Because
sad.
It's very sad. And what's happened? Or try to beat him up or put him on the ground because, okay, what they do is This guy obviously did a crime. We don't know. Presumption of, what's called? Presumption of
guilt.
Yeah, guilt. So, but they don't treat it that way. Arrest him, put him on the ground, do whatever you want, and after the police corporation will deal with it. So it's bad, extremely bad.
Yeah.
When you came here, outside of like how you said, you're really direct and you don't know how to make things soft or wrap it in candy for people to hear. What was the biggest culture shock for you when you actually moved to America?
The biggest culture shock when I moved to America was the system.
What? How do you mean?
I'm going to explain the system. The system here is different. In Europe, the system is not like this. So that was a positive culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like, many things works here, but many things doesn't work in Europe. Let's say, start with the GPS. Start with the public transportation. Works.
Mm-hmm.
Start with many things that work here. Like, it's a good thing. Back home doesn't work like this. You need to figure it out.
Right.
So for me, it was easier to figure it out here because it was kind of on the plate.
Right.
That's one thing. What the good part. What the bad part is, people. I had a hard time people to understand me.
I don't speak no languages.
I felt underestimated many times. Like, I can't do this, and I use that in my advantage because
let people. That's one of the 48 laws of power.
Yeah. So what I did, if I have a problem about something and I'm not sure 100% how to do that problem, I'm going to ask, hey man, I can't understand this. Can you help me out? And you're gonna give me your best, right? Because you're trying to prove yourself in front of me, and I have no idea, right? And you don't know they're not better than you or maybe close to. But just get your knowledge, collect your knowledge, because that's what I use in my advantage. Oh, I can't understand this.
Right.
So actually, when I realized that people treat me that way, I decided to become that way, and I use that in my advantage. So that's another culture.
That's a smart tactic.
Yeah. Another culture shock was there's so many different people here. There's so many different people, different variety of people in terms of like sexual orientation.
What on earth are you talking about?
You know me, Marge. I like my beer cold, my TV loud, and my homosexuals flaming.
In terms of like people, how they look like, music-wise, everything.
Were you an adult the first time you saw like a black person?
No, I actually black people back home, and they used to live 2007 in the United States for a short time. So back home, I worked for I worked security, right? So I had a couple of basketball players from the United States playing in my country. So I think that black people, no problem about that. But black people back home are not.
Like
going to be discriminated is opposite. Because you can't see them, it's like in the higher level.
Right, because they're so rare.
Yes, exactly.
Right, where here it's like
it's different.
Yeah. Do you, from your perspective, see America as a place that does practice systematic racism?
Oh, that's a tough question. I'm not sure that I'm capable of giving the right answer, but I'm going to tell you what I've seen in my life.
Okay.
So, is there racism? Yes, there is racism. That's for sure. Not just like black people or immigrants. There is racism. But what I can tell you is this: the racism, even when I have been discriminated because of my accent or everything, my race, it's just because a lot of things are generated here in general population. Let's say there's a lot of good black people, and also there's a lot of bad black people. Here, everything is bad.
Right.
There's no. They start with this: you bad person,
and then you gotta prove that you're good.
So the same with me. So if you're black, you're criminal. Not after that. Okay, let's see. Oh, maybe he's not a criminal. He's a better person.
Eastern Europeans often get the mob stereotype, like Russian mob, the Slavic mob, like that. So I would imagine that at some point you've had questions or that type of perception put on.
Every time when I have been pulled over by police, I've been researched, I've been searched, I have been like asked a million questions just because how I look like.
Do you tell them like I was police in my country?
I don't. Like I told you, so much bad experience in the police. I just don't want to talk with them anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I just like, do you think what we want to do it? So, in flagrante is the Latin word saying seeing somebody doing a crime at the moment. You're like a citizen anywhere in the world. You need to stop that crime because it's happening right in the moment.
Like a citizen's arrest.
Yes. citizen arrest. How many people have seen that doing here? Very rare.
That shouldn't get you killed here.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So what's happening here, when something happens on the news, right? Hey, this is a good person. But why many people doesn't do that? First of all, like you said, somebody may kill you, right? The second thing is like, nobody want to try to help the police.
Right.
Because the
Nobody
police doesn't help
wants to.
you.
Yeah.
They
Right.
don't help you.
Yeah.
I had a problem. A guy had a dealership. I gave my car to him to sell it, right? So he sold my car. He never gave me the money. When I go to the police, he's like, "Oh, you need to go civil court." I said, "What?" Yeah, you need to, but what you can do? Can you do something? Can you do a report? Basically, we can do nothing.
Right.
Okay, no problem. I went to the guy, tried to argument with him. The guy called the cops on me. I almost got arrested for my money because I was yelling to the guy.
Right. Which is fucking insane.
And the same police officer came to on the same spot because first I went to the police, talked with him. This is the story. I show all the evidence what I had. I go to the guy and said, "We can't do anything." I said, "Okay, I'll go to do myself." He's like, "Do not do that." I'm like, "Why? When you don't trying to help me out?"
Right.
And it wasn't like $5,000. It was $17,000. That was happening. Yeah. And nothing happened after.
So, how'd that wrap? Did you end up getting your...
How did it wrap? I talked with a couple of people. I started reading the law. Finally, I talked with a guy. I didn't have a choice. I just took a different car from his dealership with a lower value. And I lost money, of
So
course.
you got fucked.
But yes, at least I get the half of the money in a car. So after I need to sell the model.
Okay, so we talked about a few things, and we're gonna wrap shortly here, Ice.
I need the crazy story as the wrap.
We got to get into nightlife, right?
Yeah.
Now, you work nightlife for the majority of the time that you've been in America, right? Did you ever work nightlife before you came to America?
Yeah.
What was the difference there and here?
People here spend a lot of money. What you make per year, somebody's spending in a night.
Yeah, it's a status thing here.
It's not a status thing. It's like we talked about before. There is certain people who are fighting for $10 per hour minimum wage, and there's certain people who make thousands of dollars in an hour.
Right.
So the system, when you ask what I don't like the system, is those kind of things.
That's one of the things that's flawed.
Yeah, it's falling. So you have the people are not treated the same way because of many things, where you at, what you have been studying, and who you know, where you're going to put you, what kind of position,
How much money you have.
exactly, how much money you have, and all those kind of things. Let's say if your best friend, his father is a lawyer or influent person in city of Chicago, you might get a job where you can make $100,000 per year.
Right.
In the other case, you don't have anybody.
Same education, but you don't know.
You're gonna start $10 per hour.
Right.
So how many years is it going to take you to get to those 100,000 per year?
Right.
Never.
And then that guy's already
Yeah.
far back.
There's never. You
Honestly.
never get there if you don't figure out how to do stuff.
Yeah.
So about the nightlife, I'll go this way. The difference is the people here party more than Europe, I'll say. In certain places in Europe they party too. There's more drugs here, less drugs in Europe, I'll say that too. And people spend, like I said, way more money. I've seen a guy spending $60,000 in a night. And I can't make those money in a year, right? So what you're gonna put to the table, what's the difference between those two people? So yeah, that's how I said. And the crazy thing, all this now nice profession like doctors, lawyers, they do the most stupid things in the club.
Oh yeah.
Especially the surgeons. And
Like what? Explain what you've seen and what
I'm
you've
going to tell. I have a friend who is a surgeon. I have never seen him sober in the nightclub ever.
Right.
Ever. And I know what he do for a living. And at some point, I decided to visit him to talk to him because of my injuries. And before going there, I'm like, why should go? He's always drunk.
Right.
What else would expect him? So when he's trying to present himself like a different person in front of his coworker, I'm like, dude, you're always drunk and wasted. Like, why are you trying to prove now?
Yeah.
Like, first, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
nightlife is different, man. You know, it's different from your everyday life.
yeah,
So,
that's correct.
what do you think some of the stupidest shit you've seen working nightlife?
I mean, in which direction? Because
I don't
there
know.
are many directions.
I want to hear something dramatic.
Dramatic, like what? Like a fight, like sexual abuse, like girls acting stupid in sexual way, like drug wise, like what do you want to know?
Damn, I don't know.
That's why I'm asking.
One of
you.
each.
Choose
Well, when you say sexual abuse, what? Like rape happens at the
no, there's
club?
no rape. I'm going to tell what sexual abuse means. So you're gonna see this hot chick who is like banging hot, like every human being who is a straight person going to look after her, turn his neck on, and you're gonna see her with this dude who is probably in the age of her father, and his stomach is bigger than a 9-month pregnant woman, and she's with him having so much fun.
Right.
And you see these guys grabbing her everywhere in front of everybody, and she's so cool about it. So, what do you think about it? That's pretty crazy, right? Or maybe that's an everyday scene. So, those are one of the things what I say it's pretty crazy, but also, of course, this is the things what you can see, and the other thing what you there's always a green room, backstage room, and stuff like that.
So people who don't know nightlife, green room is a lot of times where the talent will go and do things off of camera. They don't need to be around everybody. That's where all the weird shit happens in the clubs.
Right now I'm working with them in the green room.
Okay. I mean, it's probably fun. You've probably seen some celebrities do some stupid fucking shit.
Celebrities, some of them are very cool, like a normal person. Some of them acting stupid, very stupid. And yeah, I have seen a lot. Like, I have seen a girl offering herself for sex without knowing the name of somebody, or just like, you know, I just want, like, legit, I just want you to fuck me and have you on my record. That's it.
Wow.
That's how bad it
is. So, Ice, if you don't decide to leave, you're definitely going to have to come back, talk with us again.
I mean, I'll be here probably a couple of more months. I might stop and see you again. But most likely, I'm going to leave. Like, there's no certain thing what's going to keep me here. Because, like I said...
Luckily, you didn't have kids here.
No.
Seriously.
We don't make kids.
We don't make kids.
We don't make babies.
Nah, but you were married, so you could have had one.
Do you promote your personal training online that we can like shout out your social media?
Really. Like, I go by referrals. If somebody want to reach me out.
Do you want us to put, when we do the video, do you want us to put your Facebook on there? So
or phone number or anything?
You just write down, you can write down my email.
Okay.
My email will be good.
We'll put your email up there then for sure. She can take it down right now.
Is the reason that you're moving out of the States, is it because of the precedent that we have as of right now, or just it's just the way that
that's the best question, but somebody can ask why somebody leaving some country. I'm going to give you the cleanest and the purest answer on that question. So there's two main reasons why I'm leaving this country. The first, what made me to leave this country is Trump, because he stuck all the process about getting the citizen to everyone. Even myself having a green card for 2 years, so I cannot renew my green card. So I'm not planning to expose myself on fear to be stopped by the ICE police and deport and all my money to get stuck for the government here. No.
Do you have a permanent resident, or you?
It's temporary.
Every year?
No, it's 2 years.
2 years?
Yes.
Temporary. Okay.
So that's the first reason. The reason number two, what kind of I added to that, because I was at the place in my life where I was planning to buy my own place and start thinking to actually get married again and have like my life together, have kids and stuff like that. So I realized, because I'm an ordinary guy and I work hard, I wake up every day at 4 or 5 a.m. to go train my clients, and Fridays I work more than 24 hours because I work in the nightclub. And I said this way, I get married, I have kids, when I'm going to spend my time with my kids and my wife. Right? So the system in the United States, if you're an average person and you want trying to get more money and get wealthier, it's a cat chasing their tail all around. You're stuck in payments, mortgages, and car payments. Everything is payment. So at the end of the day, you're just chasing around, and I decided I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like to convince myself why I'm going to leave. And the other case, because I wanted to go in the police or the fire department because that was my school. Because all this experience with the police, I said, no, the fire department was in front of me, where I'm going to be a person who's going to help everybody. Because if you see, the fire department helps everybody, right? And nobody
hates the fire department.
Nobody hates them. And they don't have the culture of hating the fire department because they're helping them. So I decided, okay, it's similar, I'll go to that direction, right? But now, because I don't have my citizenship, I cannot go there. So I cannot help you out. Doesn't matter how much I'm trained for you.
So you're basically saying you got fucked out of the American dream.
Basically, you basically got fucked out.
I fucked up American dream. I'm living. So you know what? I'm living right now. These 4 years, if you see the value of the dollars goes down right now after 4 years, and I'm not sure how many things are going to happen, but Trump is turned the back on all Europe and turned the back in all the NATO and all that. So how many terrorist attacks are going to happen here? I'm not sure. We'll see. And I'm going to tell this way. I'm moving to a better place. And this is not the best place for me right now, so I'm moving.
On that note, what was your email?
ice.janev@yahoo.com.
Ice, definitely appreciate you coming through. I think you shed some light. I think there's a lot of people who have a similar mind state. They came over here from other countries that view the system the same way that you do, and it's good to get that story told from your perspective.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Mike.
It's a wrap.
Good.
The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people. White collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Yeah. You know? And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on. The fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.